Hello, everyone, and welcome to a live episode of Hack the Movies. And I'm here with.
Sean O'Rourke from Movie Dumpster. I'm back. Well, I've never been on a live episode, Tony, but back in the I'm gonna say in the video store, but we're doing this digitally.
Yes. Although we saw each other recently
Oh
at the
yeah.
heavyweights event this last weekend, which was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Uh,
Which speaking of, we interviewed or it was a question and answer
yeah.
session with Sean Wise, also known as Goldberg from Mighty Ducks, and Josh and Heavyweights. We will be putting out that video, just FYI, Tony, and the hack off.
Yes.
Over on Movie Dumpster at some point next week. So check that out. Coming soon. If you weren't there, if you didn't make it over to Philadelphia, you can still check out myself, Joe Escola, and Tony from Hack the Movies himself, the man, the very famous Tony, excuse me, talking to a very cool guy after watching a movie that, I don't know, Tony, does it still hold up?
Well, I think if you want to know what I have to say about heavyweights, the only way you're going to find that out is if you go to Movie Dumpster and watch the heavyweights episode, which I was a guest on.
Uncle Tony.
Yeah. Man, I was just a little behind the scenes. I was so nervous for that Q&A because I was like, I was like, shit, man, I only seen I watched heavyweights as a kid, and then recently, and I'm like, I don't watch a lot of the Mighty Ducks. I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, am I gonna suck at this? But I think we were all on our A game there. I think we did a really good job with that. And he was really good.
Again, you could check the video out when we drop it, but Joe had some very good questions. I think me and Tony had a little bit of the icing and the cherry on top, but it went very well. It was fun, so look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to all see that. Sean, before we move any further, the name of the game here for live episodes is Super Chats. Super Chats, baby.
Okay.
All right. I only answer Super Chats and nothing else. Like, see this comment here from someone called Movie Dumpster? That wasn't a Super Chat, so I'm going to take it off.
Oh, no. Not Movie Dumpster. How's it going, Joe? How are you?
I'm glad Joe's watching. But yeah, the name of the game is Super Chats. Please leave a Super Chat if you want a comment read or question answered within reason. Okay? Make it reasonable.
You have to put that out there?
I have to put that out there every time. Look, people can say, who knows what could happen? You know, someone could say something and then you get an email saying your Godzilla podcast is gone. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
You know what's funny? Well, it's not funny, but I was looking at the Movie Dumpster and Friends playlist on YouTube that we have with all of the crossover episodes. I was like, why are 2 episodes not on here? What got deleted? I'm like going through. I was like, oh yeah, Tony's other channel. Oops.
Yeah, that's a developing situation. We'll talk about it at another time. I still don't know what happened. But if you're wondering where that went, so am I. But yes, leave a super chat within reason. And I also have Twitch up. If you leave I guess a bit or whatever. What is it called on Twitch? They're bits, right?
You're asking the wrong person. I wish I could answer that question for you, but while you figure that out, I'll give one last Movie Dumpster plug. We do have a Brain Scan episode coming out this weekend, so if you're looking for some more crazy lawnmower-esque kind of stuff, lawnmower man-esque stuff, which I believe Tony actually covered recently.
Oh, spoiler.
Oh shit,
It's coming in a few weeks.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Tony.
That's okay, Sean. I'm sure everyone in here is a patron and they already saw that weeks ago I said I was doing that movie.
But yes, it is in that vein on some level, but a horror spin if you have not seen it. So go check that out on Movie Dumpster this weekend, our Brain Scan review with Edward Furlong from Terminator 2.
And Crow Wicked Prayer?
yeah, that too.
And one scene of the Green Hornet movie? Anyway. Sean, we are talking about an animated Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
And I picked this for 2 reasons. One, I didn't have time to see all the movies for the wrap-up, so I moved that next week. And 2, months back in September, actually, me and you talked about the 3 previous Mortal Kombat Legends films. We tried to decide what one was the best. I think I picked the first one, Legend, Scorpion's Revenge. I believe you picked Snowblind, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And we enjoyed all 3 to an extent. 2 dropped the ball at the very end.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember liking all 3, like, each one was better than the last for me, but yeah, I do recall the ending of 2 being kind of a letdown.
yeah, we go more into it in that episode, but long story short, the second film is basically the Mortal Kombat 2 game, much like the first movie was Mortal Kombat 1. And then like the third act, they decided to skip to Mortal Kombat 10.
Well, right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, "What? Why
It
don't you just?"
also was the one where they decided, like, we're gonna have this whole, like, B plot with Cyborg and Scorpion, which is interesting, like,
Yeah.
you're there for that, but then it doesn't really, like, shake out. I mean, again, we talked about it on that episode, but
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a little bit of letdown, and then we loved what they did with 3. So, and like especially with this movie we're about to talk about, I feel like this series is doing the whatchamacallit, the multiverse right. So the third one establishes that they're using the time machine device for Mortal Kombat 11.
right,
And
yeah, that's, spoilers, yeah.
yes, spoilers, but Kano used it so he could win everything and manipulate everything. So it's establishing that there are multiple timelines out, and it's freed this series up to just tell fresh, unique stories with these characters. They don't have to adhere to any hard continuity, which is nice.
But
But
we're gonna get to it. I would argue that they actually did this in a way where you could make an argument that it actually works as a prequel to that first film.
I
It's a
okay.
very I'm stretching it, Tony, but you could make the argument.
I guess you could. I mean, it's definitely a prequel to something. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
oh, yeah.
exactly that film.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, so now they've freed themselves to do whatever, and they decided, hey, let's do a action-packed 80s comedy starring Johnny Cage. And that brings us to Mortal Kombat Legends cage match. Um, First off, opens up in Hollywood. And
Oh my god,
the
this cold open.
Yes, the City of Angels, in the 80s, but it's got this old-timey film look. I'm like, "Huh, what's going on here?" And then, we get to see the subway, I believe, from Mortal Kombat 3. It looks like the one from the
Yeah.
games.
I love how they even have just like fucking Santa Claus playing the saxophone just
Yeah.
because it's like, all right. It's
So,
Christmas. They set the tone immediately.
yeah. So I was wondering what they're gonna do here. I kinda figured this was a Johnny Cage movie that we were
Oh
watching.
yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, what are they gonna do here? What's this film that we're doing?" And then it turns out it's Ninja Mime.
And the way they do this too, he's like Batman, but he's like almost like teleporting around like Spawn or some shit. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious.
I like that the bad guy's on top of the train and you just see his hands miming like he's on a ladder.
And he's like laughing at one point, like slowly, like Mr.
Yeah.
Game and Watch or something.
Now, you played Mortal Kombat 1 story mode, right? You guys reviewed
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We actually here's another plug for you,
Yeah.
hack-offs, patreon.com/movie dumpster. In the bonus video section for $5 and $10
Ooh.
tiers, me and Joe, we actually played through the entire story. So if you want
Ooh.
to check that out, it's like a 6-hour video. So yes, we've seen it all, which I don't know if this is where you're going with it, Tony, but that game also opens with a fake Johnny Cage
Yes.
movie. And in that video, me and Joe were like, this has to be fake, but we're thinking like, oh, maybe this is a new angle. Maybe he's Indiana Jones now, which I would have preferred. But anyway, check
Yeah,
that out if you're interested.
I like that the monster fight is just Havoc with like a different skin. Now,
Yeah.
real quick. So the pyramid at the end, when you have to
Okay.
select a character to play the ending as,
Right.
which character did you pick?
Oh, it's been a minute. I'm trying to think about that for a second. It was I picked Raiden.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was Raiden though.
I
I was like,
picked
well, he's the hero of the game, so I'll
Yeah.
pick him.
I picked Johnny Cage, and there's
Okay.
a point at the end where he's like saved at one point by 3 ninja mimes. They're all like Johnny
Oh!
Cage ninja mimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's fucking awesome.
And I guess they just I mean, I haven't really played it because
Yeah.
outside of the story, that game just took a major shit for me. I don't know, maybe I'm just not good enough at it, but I'm all for learning and getting better at
Yeah.
a game, but if I'm just getting bodied every match, I'm good. But Janet Cage, I think, was an assist they just put out or is coming out.
Yeah. I actually enjoy it. I know a lot of people are shit on it. I actually enjoy all the Mortal Kombat games. I just don't have
Yeah.
time to play them constantly. I might actually stream this weekend because I know Peacemaker is in there now.
Oh yeah.
I did play as Omni-Man, and I really liked playing as Omni-Man. That
I mean,
was a
it's
good
hard.
time.
it's hard to give up an opportunity to, rip off John Cena's head. I'm sure even he's doing it himself, playing the game.
Oh, good old John Cena. I got to see him at WrestleMania.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, he gets saved by 3 ninja mimes. And actually, after watching this opening, I'm like, man, I would love just a ninja mime movie. What would that look like?
You say that, but I feel like it'd get old after about 15. Let's get a short. I'd go for a short.
But yeah, so he says, what does he say? What's his one-liner?
Oh man, it's slipping from me.
Mime the gap.
Oh, right, instead of mind. Yeah.
And he gets chewed out by the director because the quote was supposed to be "Gravity's a bitch."
Right,
And
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and I know this is trying to make Johnny Cage look like a prima donna, whatnot, and he's just like a real asshole. But "Mind the gap" really is a way better slogan, like catchphrase.
Yeah, if you're gonna go for the cheesy, over the top one liner, and it's
Yeah.
like the whole joke is, "Oh, say something, mime, say something, finally say something," and that's what they say is like pretty on the nose, Johnny Cage. But you're right, he's like arguing with the director, like the classic "I'll be in my trailer" kind of thing.
Yeah. Although he says you got to say gravity's a bitch because it comes into play in the 3rd act, which is pretty clever.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, he goes to the trailer. We meet Chuck, his assistant, who's like the nicest guy in the world, and Johnny treats him like shit.
Their relationship develops during the film, but yes,
because he's
makes him sign all his autographs.
Yeah, he's an assistant and he's like a mega fan, and Johnny just manipulates him. Yeah, he's signing all of Johnny's autographs.
Great job.
Great job. But the one of the producers, or that's not his agent. That's
Yeah, I forget what he is exactly.
I forget too, but he
Friend
comes in
or something.
Yeah, he comes in and he's just like, Jennifer is missing. And I do like that they never say Jennifer Grey, even though it is Jennifer Grey and it's voiced by Jennifer Grey herself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't know that was actually
I missed that.
Yeah, that was actually Jennifer Grey.
Okay, that's a layered joke then.
Yeah, because it's the 80s. That was when she
Yeah.
was super popular with Dirty Dancing and whatnot.
It looked exactly like her. I guess I didn't realize it was actually her.
Yeah. But they make a lot of jokes about that. I'll save mine with my favorite one for later, where they
Now I
aren't
gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, they aren't saying like the name of things. Like they're not allowed to say the name. At one point, they like censor a director's name. He's like, "Are you kidding me? I can't even say," because he narrates throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
"I'm actually not. I can't say his name," and it just keeps bleeping it. I'm like, "Oh, this is fucking hilarious." So yeah, they're like, "Johnny, you got to go get Jennifer," and he's like, "Okay, let's go." On the way there, he sees a babe. And I love by the way, I love the look of this whole movie. What's this style? Oh, god damn it. Hold on. There's like a specific style for this. I'm gonna look this up.
It's definitely like, while you looked it up, it's in the vein of like cell shading, but it's not that. It definitely, like, the way the cars are drawn evokes a lot of those old 80s like videos.
Yeah.
I mean, just the whole look of it, honestly. I love how they have like the highlights on like the outline of the character.
Yeah, I really, the animation's been like okay throughout this series, but this was really good. Okay, I have it here. The art style and character design is an homage to artist Patrick Nagel, whose Art Deco portraits were extremely popular in the 80s and became omnipresent in hair salons throughout the 2000s. His artwork and people's artwork who look like that were everywhere in the 90s. It was one of those, like, I love, like, each decade has holdovers from the previous decade, and I felt like I saw that guy's artwork everywhere. And actually, my family rented a cabin for Thanksgiving. Dude, this house was insane. It was gigantic. It was in the mountains, but like the basement, the whole area in the basement looked like it was straight out of the 80s. There was like a room with this like artwork everywhere. And I'm like, what century am I in? This is like very bizarre.
I thought you walked into like an old bowling alley.
It really did. Yeah, dude. It was like the top was like a log cabin, and then the bottom was like a weird 80s living room. I'm like, what is this?
Abe Lincoln's man cave, right?
Oh, and then they had a wall of VHS tapes, and I'm like, I can't escape it, Sean. I can't escape it. I'm like, this is my vacation, and I'm surrounded by VHS tapes. By the way, VHS tape, like bizarre ones. He had the Halloween 6 producer's cut that you could a bootleg from a convention. I'm like, why does he still have that?
Well, he got it at Chiller Theater. He didn't want to throw it out.
Yeah. Now, Sean, you might be wondering, wow, there were hundreds of tapes. How many VCRs were in the house? The answer
0.
was none.
Yeah, sounds
But if
right.
we rent it again, I'm bringing a VCR.
Now you know.
Yeah. So yeah, he gives his backstory, and I like that he says his name was really John Carlton.
Is that a lore thing? Is that in the games?
I don't know if it's exactly in the games, but the Mortal Kombat soundtrack by the Immortals, not the movie soundtrack, although the song Mortal Kombat was used for the movie. Did you know about this? The Mortal Kombat soundtrack?
Maybe
Okay,
elaborate a little.
so a bunch of like techno dudes in the 90s, I guess, really liked the game.
I know,
And
like
they
Technotronic did like the famous version of the song that was used in
Yeah,
the
well,
movie.
they were calling themselves the Immortals. They only did this
Right? Yeah, yeah,
album,
yeah.
but they were like from other big groups, and they make a song for each character in that first game, plus the famous Mortal Kombat song.
I've heard about you and Justin have talked about
Yes,
this in the past because I think he had it in his car or something.
yeah, he has the CD. It's on Amazon's Music. If you guys have Amazon Music, and you can find it on YouTube. But the very first song of the track is about Johnny Cage. But they say his name is John Carlton. I'm like, oh, they're making that
Oh,
song part of the canon,
okay, yeah, no, that is good. I like that
which is
Easter egg.
funny because that means he changed his name to Cage, much like
Wow.
Nicolas Cage was Coppola, and he changed it to Cage. Yeah, so he tells his whole backstory. He got bullied. And then he learned karate, and I forget the name of this guy character, but Master Boyd.
But Master, he looks literally like the guy from fucking 95 verbatim. So is this in the
Yeah.
same universe as Mortal Kombat 95?
I don't think so.
The timeline doesn't line up, but
But yeah, they got that character from the movie. They're like,
I
you know what?
wonder
If he had a master in that movie, let's just use that character's name. Why bother coming up with a new character? So
I don't know if that guy's alive anymore, but if he is, I hope he got paid for his likeness.
But yeah, he becomes a badass. He beats up his bullies, and then years later, he goes out to LA, looking like Ken from the Barbie movie.
Yeah. Before you move on, though, you don't have a still of it. But when he beats up these bullies, he
Oh.
straight up breaks this bully's fucking arm, and the bone's poking out. He's like,
Bone popped out.
"It was a bad thing, but they stopped bullying me, so it was worth it." It's like, all right, I guess you're not wrong.
And then he bumps into his agent, played by the late Gilbert Godfrey.
Do we know this? Did we talk about this on that video and the last one we did? Because I was like shocked by this.
I think we might have.
I mean, it's been a while since we did that. Like you said,
Yeah.
September, but yeah, that took me back. I was like, holy shit, it's Gilbert Gottfried. He's just cursing up a storm here. You know, as you would somewhat expect, right?
This says it's not his last movie. He's got a video game.
Really?
Arcade friend. I'm guessing it's a Disney game because he's credited as Iago.
Oh.
And then there's a Hassle at the Castle, and he's playing Gorgeous George. I don't know if he's playing the wrestler Gorgeous George.
But when did this come out? Like November?
Yes, this
Okay.
came out around that time. Because it wasn't out by the time we did the episode.
Right.
So this is one of his last films. And it was just good hearing his voice. I was lucky enough, I got to work with Gilbert like twice.
Oh yeah, you did the AVGN episode, yeah.
The AVGN episode, and years before that, for the TV show, the Ed Bassmaster show. I worked with we did a whole thing where we actually taught him how to fish. And it was one of my favorite days because he had never fished before. So my Ed was in character, his character Skippy. They're teaching him how to fish. And a lot of the jokes did not make it to TV because it was like for CMT. So it had to be a little family friendly, and I wish I could remember them. I used to have the footage somewhere. It just sat on, I could never release it, obviously, but I had it on a hard drive. That hard drive like fried itself. But I remember he had some jokes where as I'm recording, I'm like, that's not making it to TV. That's not making it to TV. Oh, that's definitely not making it to TV.
But Gilbert didn't have too much of his leash was long. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
It was just so fun working with him twice because he was so calm and quiet until the cameras rolled, and he would go from like 0 to 100. But no, he was like one of the sweetest guys you could ever meet. His wife was really nice. And I was lucky that I got to work with him a couple times.
It's cool.
But he's playing Johnny's asshole agent. He like saves the agent. So the agent's like, I'm gonna help you. Yeah, kid, this is your lucky day.
Donald fucking Double D.
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally doubly, but yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just so funny like that. That's his name. But yeah, Johnny makes it to Jennifer's house. He sees there's a fight. He thinks something kinky's happening.
I was
Uh,
again shocked to see Ashra. I was like, "All right, that's a pairing I was never expecting." But let's go.
yeah,
Let's do this.
Ashra and oh
Carrie.
god, hold on,
All right, you got
Kia. I
Kia.
think it's
Okay,
Kia.
I'm
Uh,
guessing this is like a 4 or 5 character, 6 possibly.
yeah, hold on, I'm looking up. Oh wait,
Once
no,
once I checked out.
hold on. Okay, the one in the black is Kia. Ashra, you're right, is the one in the white. I mixed
Yes.
them up. These characters are like my blind spot when it comes to Mortal Kombat. Where did she come from? Mythology Sub-Zero. There you
Oh,
go. No wonder I didn't. It's insane how canon Mythology Sub-Zero is,
I
but
apparently, yeah.
no one ever liked the game.
Well,
Barely anyone played it, and so much of that game is canon in the series.
Ed Boon's a big fan for whatever reason.
I get the story's good, but the game sucks. And then when did Ashra show up? She has to be like a
I
deception
think she
character,
was,
right?
yeah, she was like 5 or 6. That sounds right.
Yeah. I have Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Ashra's from Deception. I have Mortal Kombat Deception. I played a little bit of it, but I bought it like years later, like years after Armageddon. So I never got like fully invested in it. So yeah, there's a couple characters that showed up in Mortal Kombat 1 that are from that PS2 era. And I'm like, I didn't play them as much as others.
I mean, I like Ashra and like the way
Yeah.
that she's portrayed in this film, like a lot of her attacks and even like the attacks that Johnny uses. It's kind of cool that they're translated from the game into the film. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that at least.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a fun little fight that they do. She's of course voiced by Kelly Hu, who might be coming back for whatchamacallit, Deadpool and Wolverine. They showed Lady
You say of course, like I'm supposed to just know who that is. Who is this actress?
Kelly Hu. She's Lady Deathstrike. In
Oh,
X-Men
okay,
2.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And she was in Friday the 13th Part 8. She
Who was
was
she
one
in
of,
that?
she was one of the students on the boat.
Oh God,
She's the one that gets like choked in the prom area of the boat, I think.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I'm like,
Wait, hold on. I know where. Sorry, this is the Kelly Hughes section of the show.
okay,
I know where you know her. Okay, she was
all
the
right,
sorceress and Scorpion King.
okay.
Oh, okay. You're upsetting me. I know where you know her. She was the princess chick from Surf Ninjas.
I don't think I've ever actually seen Surf. Maybe once 30 years
Oh
ago.
my god!
I'll take the one you said before that I already forgot what it was.
She
Lady
was on.
Deathstrike.
Here we go. She was on 2 episodes of Boomtown in 2003.
Okay, yeah, you got me telling. You finally found one for me.
That's where you're like, oh yeah, of course, Boomtown.
Boomtown.
That's
Well,
my
that's what I know.
favorite.
Yeah, the long fingers with the adamantium. Nah, Boomtown.
Yeah, she's more of a voice actress these
Okay.
days. She's even done Mortal Kombat games. She was Madame Bo in Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, that's the old lady.
Yeah, the female
Oh my
Bo Raichu.
God.
Okay, look, I'm fine with a female lady Bo Raichu, okay? But she should have been queefing, okay? Because the male Bo Raichu farts. If you're gonna go for it, go for it.
She was too busy getting her ass kicked, I think, by Sub-Zero, or somebody punches the shit out of her.
Why can't she also be gross and farting? Why can't she?
That's the next game, Tony. They're working up to it.
They can't do queefing Lady Bo Raichu off the bat. They gotta work up to it.
Just imagine that, like, in gameplay. Like, instead of a fart cloud, what does that even look like? How sexist can you make it? As long as a woman designs it, we're okay, right?
But yeah, God, I forgot the character's name already. Kia.
And this character that's not going to matter in a minute.
Yes. Kia bounces out of there with a scroll. Johnny Cage goes after him. I like that Johnny Cage is like, now I have to save Jennifer, not just for the movie, because she might be hurt. And he's like, so I'm not an asshole.
Right.
And it's like, you're still kind of an asshole.
I mean, the whole house fucking explodes, for God's sakes.
Oh, yeah. Just totally destroyed. But Chuck took his car to get detailed or whatever. So he has to hop on a tourist bus to chase after them. I love this chase because the he's like, "Oh, if you do this, I'll read your script." He's like, "How do you know I have a script?" He's like, "Of course you have a script."
Yeah. And then that
Uh,
oh, there you go. Exactly.
yeah, yeah. I love
He
he
goes,
kicks her out. She gets kicked out of the bus. She's like, "I'll get you," and the bus driver just splatters her. And then he's like, "Oh, these damn
yeah, he
pigeons!"
goes a
Like
pigeon.
you saw there was like a full grown woman in front of you. Um, this is probably one of my favorite bits where he goes to jump on the car. He's like, "I've seen my stuntman do this," and he totally misses.
Even the driver's like, "Are you sure it's as easy as you're saying it is?" He's like, "Yeah," and it's like a slow motion scene, and he just fucking eats shit. Well, actually, he doesn't. You think he's gonna?
Yeah, you think he's going to, but it reminds me of you've seen Hot Rod, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Every time he tries to do a stunt, it doesn't work. But I love the one at the very end where it's all slow motion. He's giving the thumbs up, and then it pans out. He's not on his motorcycle anymore.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
so high in the sky.
Classic.
That's what it reminded me of. But yes, Chuck saves him, and they're able to get the scroll away from her. Um, so they got to figure out what this thing is. We find out that Ashra is working for Raiden.
White Lotus.
Yes.
Again, the Mortal Kombat people can't decide what lore they want to land on. I guess they're still not sure if number one, MK1, actually is the future, I guess. But who knows what the timeline on this production was. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, he looks like Mortal Kombat 1 Raiden right there.
He
Also,
just looks like Raiden, man. He's summoning lightning and shit. He's got white eyes.
fun fact, the same actor who played the bus driver also voiced Raiden. I was pulling double duty there.
I guess Raiden's only got like one scene and like 2 lines, so okay.
Yeah. And he's like, "Don't worry, Ashra, you can do it. I believe in you." Johnny goes to meet with his agent to tell him about the whole Jennifer thing, but his agent's like, "Don't worry about that movie. I got you a movie with the big man." And again, we're not allowed to know who the big man is.
Right, this is the bleeping scene. He's like talking to the audience, breaking the fourth wall.
He's like, "Beep, bleep, bleep." I forget what the movie was. It was like The Super Guy or something.
Yes.
It's a superhero film. He's like, "Superheroes are for nerds."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, by the way, if you haven't seen any of the other films, I don't know if we mentioned it, but Joel McHale is voicing Johnny Cage. I will say, I don't know if he does a great job throughout the entire film. I think sometimes he just sounds a little bored. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but generally speaking, he does a good job.
I love his Johnny. Johnny Cage is like one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters.
Top 5.
I'm hoping Carl Urban does a good job in the new movie. I really wanted it to be The Miz from WWE because he's basically John. That character is Johnny Cage.
I have zero faith in that film. I know you reviewed it.
But it's the same like people making it, so it'll probably be bullshit.
Right, but Carl Urban, I get what you mean.
But in the same way, like Kano was really good in the previous film. Like at least we'll maybe get like a good performance.
Some cool kills, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Scorpion was cool for the 5 seconds he was in that movie.
Yeah, right, exactly.
God, it should have been The Miz. Because I love when The Miz goes out and brags about being in the direct-to-video sequels to The Marine. I'm like, that feels like Johnny Cage. Like he looks like Johnny Cage. He acts like Johnny Cage.
You want the built-in 9 months of the WWE gimmick. That's what you really want, actually. You want The Miz and the Johnny Cage fucking attire.
He was pushing for it too, and they went with Carl Urban instead, which fine.
I mean, Carl Urban, man. I mean,
I get it.
And he just did the character in The Boys, which I need to catch up on, so don't spoil it. But he's great on that.
I just talked about this. Oh no, I will be talking about this in the X-Men 3 episode, but I don't watch The Boys.
Is this a bit, or just do you have a reason?
Well, I guess I'm going to repeat myself, but yes, I was mad they canceled The Tick. And then they greenlit The Boys, and I was like, I'll never watch that show because I want season 3 of The Tick. But now the sister from The Tick, who I thought was really cute, is going to be in season 4 of The Boys. And I'm like, I guess I'll catch up on The Boys. Finally watch it. I've seen like bits and pieces of it. It looks like something I would enjoy, but I would much rather a 3rd season of The Tick.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, though.
Do I got to watch the spin-off show? Can I ignore that?
I don't actually know because I only watched the first 2 seasons, and that was like right before the spinoff show came out. I think you might have to, but I don't know. Well, if it's like comic books, you probably have to. Then I'd love to do that in comics. Read the 3 other issues so that you're caught up.
But
Yeah.
yes, that's why I stopped reading comics. There were too
Same.
many. There were too many crossover events. I'm
It
like,
was getting
guys,
expensive. They're not supposed to be expensive.
yeah, I'm like, guys, one crossover event like every other year, guys. Like, not. I don't want to buy 17 comics so I know what's going on.
Right.
That was a Civil War problem and an Infinite Crisis problem. It worked for both those comics, and then they just kept doing it.
Yeah, last note on that. The
Mm,
last one I really kept up with
mm.
the crossovers was Brightest Day, because I was into DC at the time. Like the Green Lantern. So when Jeff Johns was writing it, and this was like probably
Oh
10 or
yeah, yeah,
12 years ago, if not longer, 15 years
yeah.
ago.
I read all that stuff like after the fact. My
Sure,
friend
yeah.
had the paperbacks and lent them to me. Anyway, it turns out Gilbert Gottfried is a demon.
Anyway, by the way,
But yeah, I like that he like tries to shoot him at first, and then he comes out, he's all demon mode now.
yeah.
Johnny gets into a fight with him, fucking impales him on this weird.
Takes him out a window like Hans Gruber or
Yeah.
something.
But I love that Chuck's like, is he okay? Yeah, he's fine. And then he just like vomits up fire and his face melts. And he's like, see, he's fine. Let's get the hell out of here.
There is also this kind of gag or this through line throughout the film with Chuck, who he's always like, "What would Johnny Cage do?" And this is the first time he kind of does that, where he's hitting on the secretary. He's about to get her number until this
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
demon
that's right.
flies out a window. It's a good running gag.
By the way, we're not going to spoil it right now, but Chuck ends up being a big Mortal Kombat character. Big. He ends up being a known Mortal Kombat character.
I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe it either. Because I don't think that character really had a rich backstory, so it could have been anyone.
I was fully expecting just Chuck is just made up for the movie, whatever. And it's like, nope, we figured out how to work him in there.
And it's pretty smart how they do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Johnny realizes he's caught up in something big. Jennifer is being kidnapped. His agent's a demon. He's like, what the hell are we doing here? And then another girl gets Chitaka. Chitaka. She tells her she's next to get Johnny Cage and get the scroll.
You're next.
So Johnny Cage goes to this underground society. I think he learned it from the Gilbert Godfrey. And he's wearing his Prince outfit, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I put my Prince outfit away after the Soul Man episode. I should have saved it for this.
How could you have known, though?
I know, right?
Should have dug it out.
Should have dug it out. But yeah, so he meets Chitaka. And by the way, I love that he's on the intercom. Like he's got the wire.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, wow, we're going underground. This would be a hard place if you wanted to call the police. Like he's trying to like send Chuck like messages, but it's all static.
He's like Micro, like the Punisher, like Micro in the van. He's like, yeah, you sure that the movie's gonna let us borrow their sound equipment van? He's like, don't worry about it. I'm Johnny Cage. But yeah, he instantly loses connection once they go into this like tunnel, and you're seeing like demons, like shadows of like demons and creatures in the background, and Johnny's like, I don't know about this.
And then Ashra comes in to save the day.
Yep.
Because Chitaka goes to kill him, but Ashra intervenes. The hat is so stupid. I'm sorry. The hat is like
they got rid of it in one, or it was like kind of an intro kind of thing, if I'm not mistaken.
But it's like, do you need the mosquito net when you're underground in the cave? Anyway,
it's an aesthetic thing, Tony. She's gonna rip it off every time. Get this thing out of here.
But yeah, so she escapes with him. They end up fighting near the no-ho sign, which I don't think is real. Is it? Hold on, let's see.
I have no idea. I do like how when she starts throwing energy balls, that's when Johnny's like, "Oh shit, she's evil." I guess that was the giveaway.
No, there's no-ho sign that looks like that. There is a no-ho sign for North Hollywood, but it's not on a cliff or anything. In
the Mortal Kombat universe, it is.
So you're right. They're duking it out. He realizes that she's also a demon and whatnot. There's the sign right there. Chuck comes in.
Oh,
this is the second sister to get taken out by a vehicle. Launches her into the sign, blows it up.
She goes flying like you kicked the can into this fucking thing.
So they look at the scroll, which actually earlier I think they were looking at the scroll, and Chuck said it was written in Greek.
Right.
And I did like that joke. I guess I didn't include in my slides where he's like, it looks like Greek to me. And he's like, let me do the jokes. It's like, no, he's not using the expression. He thinks it's actually
Yeah,
Greek.
yeah. And Johnny's
But
like, "How do you know Greek?" He's like, "Well, you had this thing in this script, and I had to translate it with your attorney." He's like, "Okay."
yeah, so he must have worked the gist of the fist, it was called.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
he's like, so it's implied that he got like sued. So he had to like everything was in Greek.
yeah, yeah.
But they find out that LA is run by a demon cult. I like so this entire city is run by Satanists, which is pretty funny
And
because
this is like,
I hear those conspiracy theories all the time.
oh god, do you?
Yeah,
I love how the map is just like creates like this satanic star, just like out of
yeah.
like Ghostbusters or the Idle Hands had something like that.
Oh yeah, Idle Hands had the map.
I mean, it's cheesy like this in that sense.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters was a little bit more involved than just let's draw on a fucking map. But yeah, the
And
cliche.
Sean, do you want to know where you can learn more about Idle Hands?
MovieDumpsterPodcast.com. We did a review about 4 years ago. It's an audio only episode, but we did cover it. Is that
Oh
what you're
no,
talking about, Tony?
oh no, Sean, it seems like you're driving through a tunnel. You can look up Idle Hands.
Ah!
I do that to everyone on the live show when they say something mean to me, like, oh, they drove through a tunnel. Yes, I also reviewed Idle Hands, and I
Oh,
actually
okay.
had a interview with the director in that movie.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Rodman Flender, really nice guy. Also directed Leprechaun 2, and he
Oh,
also was in all 3 Carnosaur movies. When
okay.
I pulled up the IMDb as I was interviewing, I'm like, holy shit, I gotta ask him about Carnosaur. And I made him go on like a long Carnosaur 2 and 3 thing.
Oh my god.
Um, so yeah, the town's run by Satanists, and I love this joke too. That's Dan's world famous Oriental theater, and Johnny Cage is like, "Oh yes, Dan's Oriental," like acknowledging that that's not the real name. Like he knows the audience knows, and it's like a fake name.
Right.
So
Like
I like
kind
when
of
so his narration breaks the fourth wall a lot, but that's
right.
also funny when he does that. He's like, "Oh yeah, that line."
It's in line
Um,
with the character too. Like if you're gonna have a
yeah,
character cracking jokes like this, Johnny's the perfect one to do it.
yeah. Have you ever been to the Grumman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood?
No, I think I might have driven by it or was driven by it when I was out there last, but no.
Yeah. Hollywood, like the something I did once and I went,
Mhm.
you know, I don't think I ever have to do this again.
One
I
and done, yeah.
I think I'm like, you know what? I saw it. Nice. I don't ever want to be here again.
That's like Times Square, similar in that sense. It's like, all
uh
right, it's kind of cool, but I'm good after like the first time.
yeah, I enjoy Times Square though. I was
No, I
actually
mean I get it.
yeah,
Just for me, yeah.
Times Square depending on like the time of night. There's like more stuff to do there. But yeah,
The
the
naked
chi-
cowboy, you want to hang out with him?
I've seen that guy a couple times.
Yeah.
It's fun when the mascots start fighting. That's always
You gotta go
fun.
to LA for that.
But yeah, so they realize they got to get to the theater. And then what's her face comes, Jitaka comes back to life
I
for a
forgot about that.
and I love that Johnny kicks her head off, and then Johnny goes, ew, like he's grossed out by it.
Yeah. He thought he was gonna like sleep with this woman and he ended up having to fucking murder
Yeah.
her.
And I think oh yes, here
Oh yeah.
Jennifer shows up and she attacks them and takes them prisoner. It's like, oh no, Jennifer's in on it.
I
And
mean,
it's
they
her
showed her earlier and it was kind of like inferred, so it was a nice reveal.
yes. So Jennifer Grey's got Johnny tied up, and it turns out they need Johnny because he has special blood, the blood of the gods.
Which again, if you're a fan of the series, which I feel like are 95% of the people that are gonna watch this movie, you kind of already knew that, so you're just waiting to see if they go there with it, and they do.
Yes, yes. Because yeah, I don't think the other movies touched on the whole green energy thing, did
I was
they?
trying to remember. I feel like they did, and then like when we did that episode though, the new one was coming out, and I remember that in that they specifically removed that aspect of the character. So I just can't
Yeah.
remember. My wires are getting crossed.
Yeah, I'd have to go back. Everyone should go back and rewatch our "What
Yeah,
is the best Mortal Kombat Legend so far" episode. It was a really good episode.
it was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, it turns out the director of Ninja Mime is also in on it.
He's a demon too, yeah.
Yes, and we learned here that Ashura was also once a demon.
Which again, I did know because I played the games, but if you
Yeah.
didn't, it's a cool reveal.
Yes, yes. So she's trying to like atone for her sins, and like, be reformed. But yeah, she saves Chuck. She kills the fucking director.
Chuck has another moment where he's like, think like what would Johnny Cage do, I should say, and then like
Yeah.
pushes him, and then she snaps his neck with her legs. Like, all right, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, they get on out of there. Jennifer Grey is full on evil mode.
Well, she's got the white stripe like Serena does in the game now.
That's right. She's Serena.
Oh yeah, that's the reveal. Yeah.
Let me see. Serena.
Jennifer Grey is Serena, who is also, I believe, a sister. I said the actual name earlier, but
yeah,
in the new game,
fucking Sean made her debut in Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Why do they think we know so much?
Well, I know Serena is more popular. I think she made it into some of the other games, but yeah. I guess that's the one to play, Tony.
Yeah, what did she... The Tournament Edition. She has cameos in Deception. She's in Armageddon.
Yeah.
Mostly she has just cameos. And yeah, she's a cameo in the new one, too.
And she turns into a demon in that, just like...
Yeah.
Spoilers, she is going to in this. It looks a little different, obviously. They didn't have Jennifer Grey's likeness. I imagine she just like licensed that out the fucking Mortal Kombat forever. Yeah, every time you make this character from now on, it's got to look like me.
I wish they did that more often because I remember Mortal Kombat 11. Whenever given the choice, I was movie Sonya, so I didn't have to hear Ronda Rousey's bad voice acting. I'm just like, no, get Ronda Rousey out of there. I'm movie Sonya.
I was gonna say that they did kind of do that with Natara with fucking Megan Fox, and everyone hated it.
Oh God.
I feel like I was kind of defending that in that episode we did because it hadn't come out yet, and I was like, oh, she sounds okay in the trailers, and then like the next day I played it, and I was like, oh my God, what happened?
Although that makes beating her up a lot more fun. It's like, oh, shut up, Natara.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I gotta stream playing some of the towers. I played the towers off stream, and like her ending was kind of fun.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Serena. So this is the big secret. The cult and everything, they're there to resurrect Shinnok. And I was kind of hoping they would do someone else other than Shinnok.
But I guess Serena and those other characters are associated with Shinnok in the lore. Not that we're following hard and fast here, but I guess when they do, they are, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I wish it would have been someone else because we had Shinnok in the second movie. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, we're pulling out and also he's like a top tier Mortal Kombat bad guy, even though he's not really like my favorite.
Yeah.
So to like bring him back is just kind of like this. He seems like a minor. He doesn't seem that big of a deal in this one.
I mean, he is a major threat in the last 15-20 that he's in, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but it felt like a bigger deal with him coming back in the other one, or even in the games. It's like, oh shit, we can't release Shinnok. He's the worst.
It was more apocalyptic in that second one. This one, they don't quite get there.
Yeah, I do like as he's being resurrected, some of the cult members run away.
Like they didn't expect it to go there. Like, oh shit, this is actually happening. I just wanted to be like an asshole. I didn't know this was actually summoning a demon.
But yeah, so they had to use Johnny's blood to resurrect him. Chuck does a swing and a miss.
Well, it is a distraction though, so mission accomplished.
Also, that drum, that looks like Quan Chi, right?
Yes.
That face looks like Quan Chi. I thought Quan Chi would have been fine.
Yeah, NetherRealm related. That's true. I don't know. I can't. Again, was he killed in the other one? Is that why? Not that it matters if Shinnok was killed and is now coming back.
No, because Kanan, if we count the Scorpion's Revenge, he's alive on that island.
Okay.
Or
not
even
that it matters, right?
Or even like Unaga would be cool.
They had some aversion to Onaga. I don't know why. Maybe they're saving it. I don't know why.
Yeah. He seems awesome. He seems super cool. So yeah, Ashura comes in and tries to save the day. She's better at it than Chuck is. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the cult members running away, and the other one's bowing down to Shinnok. I do like Shinnok's entrance. Just this big demon hand, like that's all skinned and bloody, like out of
Berserk or something.
Yeah, brings him into Earth Realm, and there he is in all his glory.
Yep.
I don't know, just something about Shinnok. It never really like connects with me.
I don't mind Shinnok. I think it's mostly because of what they did with him in what was that 10?
Yeah.
I thought he was really good in that. I mean, less so for 4. I could care fucking less, honestly.
Yeah. Well, 10, he's cool in that because like his demon form looks
Yeah,
cooler.
I think the story's just interesting in that one too. But
Yeah, but for me, I was just kind of like he never looked as cool as Shao Kahn. Like Shao Kahn looks so much cooler.
yeah, I mean,
He, sorry.
I was gonna say, just be glad that Shang Tsunging. I feel like they just like been beating that character to death. Like,
Yeah, Shang Tsung wouldn't have worked in this if they were trying to do. No, that wouldn't have worked at all.
Shao Kahn, though, to your point, might have. You're right, if that's
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. It should have been like a NetherRealm thing. I think Quan Chi would have been totally fine
Yeah,
if they were bringing Quan Chi into this.
he's a big enough of a threat. But I guess they want their fucking Johnny Cage versus Shinnok fight.
Yeah. Or like Ermac would be cool
That'd be
because you got
cool.
the whole demon thing. So anyway, he's there. He's ready to kick ass. I do like that he makes himself a blood staircase and then he doesn't use it. He just hovers over it. Like,
It's for aesthetics again.
like why be so fucking extra, Shinnok?
Hey, Shinnok.
But they make it up to the surface, Dan's Oriental Theater.
Right, yeah.
And I like the crowd is watching. I think there's a guy, I forgot to get a slide of it, but there's a guy in like a Superman outfit because this is a WB release. They didn't do a funny WB intro. They only did it twice, didn't they? They did Daffy Duck in the first one.
Right.
And then they did what you call it? They did Shaggy, the ultra powerful Shaggy in the other one.
I think they might have used the old WB logo. That was the only thing, the one from the 80s.
Yeah, they didn't use
That was it.
They didn't use their regular WB animation. They didn't do anything funny with it. I think they should have.
I think that's because they were trying to lead into the Ninja Mine thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
So Shinnok's there. He's all happy. Down below, Ashra's fighting Serena. Chuck is getting the scroll because they got to use the scroll. Like, I think if they destroy it or something, they could send Shinnok back.
They have to like read an incantation, and there's also like this wrinkle, no pun intended because of the paper. But there's this wrinkle where Chuck's trying to get the paper from this like demon, and he's trying to outsmart it, and that's kind of a good scene.
Yeah, I do like when he like kicks him in there. I like when Johnny Cage gets thrown into a store with a mannequin that looks just like him, and he's like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, "At least we're alive," and then his head falls off.
Meanwhile, Marty McFly's hanging out in the background.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, and also Johnny has all this writing on him because of the sacrifice. He's just like, all right.
So whatever's going on here, the blood, maybe because he's like in connection with Shinnok, who I guess is a god or something.
Yeah, he's an elder god.
Yeah, so this unlocks his green chi power.
It's his life-threatening moment, like the classic anime comic book thing.
Yes.
Story thing,
And of course, I'm sure in the new movie, Carl Urban is going to have that stupid tattoo that will unlock his Arcana power.
Can they just get rid of that? I guess it's so integrated into the plot they can't.
That is like one of the worst plot devices ever. I'm like, really?
They took that from Annihilation. They're like, that was a good idea. We're gonna reuse that.
Well, yeah, the that one was just to have people go through like different portals. But yeah, the new movie, it was like, if you have this tattoo, you get magical powers, and my power is metal armor that looks like rubber because I guess they didn't CG enhance it.
So I don't know.
I love the scene where it's like buckling and there's like a split in it. Oh god, that movie's so terrible.
But what I'm talking about specifically is Raiden and Shao Kahn have tattoos.
Yes,
in Annihilation. That's all I meant.
Yeah. But this, if we're talking about 80s movies, this feels like The Last Dragon, where he gets the glow at the end.
Yeah.
And the bad guy turns out, Shonuff turns out he had an evil glow.
Shonuff.
Great
movie. Great episode also, by the way.
Yes, that was a fun episode.
I edited that one, so it is
that's right, you did.
I think that was the last Hack the Movies episode I ever edited.
What was the name of the main guy in Last Dragon? Why am I blanking on it?
Oh, I just remember Shonuff. I can't remember.
Leroy Green.
Oh, yeah, Leroy.
So yeah, he's got the glow.
Yep.
He's fighting. He's the Last Dragon. Chuck manages to get the scroll. Serena turns into a big demon.
Right.
and then gets taken out pretty quick. Ashra fucking takes her out. And I like once Ashra's hat is off, she does look like that guy's paintings of the short-haired girl with the long black hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty clever. And it makes sense why she would have the big shoulder pads, because
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
a big 80s, early 90s thing.
Yes.
But yeah, she fucking annihilates Serena. And I do like this. This is the city of angels, no devils allowed.
Also, Shinnok totally just annihilates some civilians just for fun. Just
Oh
fucking
yeah,
laser
just
beams
like
them.
that. Because they have the Sam Raimi Spider-Man moment where they start throwing things at him.
Yes, leave him alone. He's one of us. He's a Los Angelian or whatever we call ourselves.
But you know, the little kid's like, remember your movie? You got to do this, and that gives him the confidence to take on Shinnok. And of course, you got to do it. You got to do the low blow. It's like the Johnny Cage thing.
Classic.
I like that. Even demons have balls.
Yeah. You even have like the little kid yelling, saying "fuck yeah," which is pretty funny.
I do love how like excessively violent and just over the top this one is.
Oh yeah. God, yeah. The X-rays are back.
We have to do an X-ray. You got to do an X-ray. He like shatters his jaw, and then a callback to the opening. Gravity's a bitch because he injured. He like fucks up a statue, and
he did injure that statue. Yes,
he did. I didn't mean to say injure. It was another word. But yeah, he does his shadow kick into the pit, and the statue, gravity, like I said, gravity's a bitch, knocks Shinnok back into the pool, sends everyone back to wherever the hell Shinnok goes, and they burn the scroll. I don't think it's the Nether Realm.
The Phantom Zone. I have no idea.
Yes, the Phantom Zone. And I look up top, he starts signing autographs, which of course is a Mortal Kombat 2 thing with the fatality. He's my biggest fan. Where did these people get pictures of Johnny Cage? Who's to say?
There's an impersonator in that crowd somewhere that carries them on them.
Well, I liked in the original Mortal Kombat movie. Apparently, that was like an added reshoot of the. Yeah, apparently they like added that in post production, and you can tell because why the fuck did Johnny Cage have that autograph on him? Why did he like sign it, and then why did he leave it? That makes no sense. Other than they were like, add some more video game things.
Well, it's great, so whatever. But
because I think that's where Reptile comes from. Reptile wasn't in the original version of that movie. I think they added him in post because they wanted another fight.
They could have cut that part.
Yeah. Does it look like Reptile's CGI is unfinished?
Just a wee bit. It's not the only bad part of that movie without going into it.
I have a whole video on why the original Mortal Kombat, despite how much I love it, makes absolutely no sense. Nothing about that movie makes sense. But yeah, he falls in love with Ashra. Apparently, opening that portal made a bunch of snow because Chuck had a thing earlier how he misses the snow.
She goes, if I haven't already devoted my life to something else, I'd make you my mate. And he's like, we could work on that tonight. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that is actually pretty funny. Yeah, here's the big reveal. It turns out Chuck is fucking mocap.
And the video games are like canon in this movie.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he was my double on a bunch of video games. And yeah, they were banned due to excessive violence.
That's some good meta humor. I'm there for it, man. The mocap shit. I was laughing my ass off at that.
Yeah, I was freaking dying at the end. And I thought like the end of this movie was gonna be like, this is just a movie Johnny Cage made about himself.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Turns out that's not the case. Ashra devoted her life to fighting demons.
Getting it done.
They made a bunch of Ninja Mime movies. I like Silent but Deadly.
I wonder what director came in, what bleeped out director came in to finish the first one after the fucking demons all died.
Yeah, I like Ninja Mime 3. It looks like Big Trouble in Little China's poster.
Oh, yeah. I missed that.
And everything was going good for Johnny Cage until it wasn't. I do like the narrative. Largest reading audience ever. Aliens Among Us. 12 congressmen from another world and their plans to enslave us.
Yeah, I just see psychics warn global cooling to spark a new ice age.
I'm seeing if there's anything funny on the other one. But yeah, so his career kind of takes a dip, but then he tells this reporter at the end, this journalist who was taking pictures of him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to film a new movie on a remote island." He's like, "Is this your comeback?" And he's like, "I never left."
Yeah. It's like his Bruce Willis moment when he did fucking Die Hard or Fifth
Yes.
Element rather.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it ends. It's supposed to lead into Mortal Kombat. I do like that nice ending there in memory of Gilbert Godfrey.
Yes.
But it doesn't really connect with the scene we see in Scorpion's Revenge. So again, this is kind of its own plot line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm joking when I'm saying that. I mean, you're
Yeah,
stretching the fucking silly putty if you want to connect the two, but you
yeah,
could.
yeah. You could if you wanted to. But no, I had a really good time with this one. I really, really, really enjoyed this. How did you feel after it was
Um,
done?
I had a good time with this. I don't know if I really, really enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
I liked it. It was definitely not as good as Snowblind, but I
Okay.
think it's, if not as good as the second one, it might be a little bit better than that second one, which is kind of crazy to me because the second one is the one with the fucking tournament, and it might
Yeah.
be, but I know you like Scorpion's Revenge, but it's between that and Scorpion's Revenge is the worst one. Granted, all
Okay.
these movies I think are actually good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a 3 out
Scorpion.
of 5 for me. This one,
Okay. Scorpion's Revenge is still my favorite, just because I think
sure.
it's a really good adaptation of the first game's story.
Mm,
It was just done really well, I
yeah, yeah.
feel like. But this, Sean, this is right behind it. I really like this one. But I have to credit Snowblind for this. I like the course
Mm,
correction they did with Snowblind. Like, you know what? Let's just tell stories about just one because that was the thing. They wanted to do a
true.
Scorpion movie and they worked it into the first game's narrative. And it worked for that, but it didn't kind of work for the second one. Like that was supposed to be the Liu Kang movie, but then it got a little overstuffed.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion and the cyborgs.
So I like that they have this like smaller self-contained universe now. We're like, hey, this is a story about this character, and there's a few Mortal Kombat things here. There's a story about that character, and there's a few Mortal Kombat things there. I'm excited to see what they do next. I don't know if they're making another one. But yes,
I'd watch it.
I'll watch all of them. Now that I know that they're free of any continuity, there's nothing that's gonna like break the continuity.
True.
So if there is a shit one, we can just move right along to the next one.
The shit one's gonna be that sequel to the last live action one, unfortunately for all of us.
God, I'm not excited for that. Although the guy they got to play Shao Kahn is gigantic.
Again, I'll still
Yeah.
watch it. Let's see a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm just being
Well,
pessimistic based on what happened last time, but
well, I had to
I'm
watch.
always open to
I had
see
to
it.
watch that terrible Burt Kreischer movie, The Machine. But the actor who's playing Shao Kahn was in that, and Sean, this guy is a fucking giant.
Okay.
They have to cover up his tattoos, but he is like if someone said, "Who do you want to play Shao Kahn?" They show me that guy, I'd be like, "Oh, that fucking guy." I don't even care if he acts. We can get a voiceover guy. I'm like, he is. The guy doesn't look real, so I'm excited to see what
Okay.
they do
Okay.
with that.
You don't want to
Which,
bring back Brian Thompson, the alien hunter? I think that's his name, right?
yeah, that costume didn't do him any justice because
Nah.
he is a big guy.
Yeah.
And it's like the face was a little too big, so it made his body look too short and his shoulder.
There was other problems, but that was definitely part of
Also, the movie was a piece of shit. That was another problem.
it. Yeah.
But like, it's like technically the right costume, but I'm like, I would have
Yeah.
changed the proportions to make him look bigger.
It's like it's not even a fair comparison at all, Tony, but
Yeah,
something that's coming out soon is the fucking Wolverine versus Deadpool and Wolverine, where it's like,
yeah,
wow, they finally put Wolverine in the costume and it doesn't look like shit. It could have very easily looked like Shao Kahn in
yeah,
Annihilation, but it's like, no, it looks like a suit. And that's what
yeah,
you
yeah,
want, right?
yeah. I'm kind of excited for that movie.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm pumped too. I like the Deadpool movies, even though that first one was a bad theater experience. But I'll save
Oh
that for
no.
when I do worst Deadpool episode.
Okay.
I don't have time to. I'm doing the same thing for Wolverine. I'm doing the 3 Wolverines at once and 3 Deadpools at once.
Ooh, Deadpool, at least you can have a good time with that. Wolverine, whoever you get on that episode, that is torture.
Oh, I got a guy that's pretty. I got something really
Okay.
special for Wolverine.
I'm
You're
looking
gonna
forward to it.
you're
Okay.
gonna want to watch that episode.
All right.
I just need him and his girlfriend to make a trip up here. I think we all know who I'm talking about.
Oh
He's
my
also
God.
a short, hairy, angry man.
Are you just gonna do like the original 3 X-Men? Or are you doing like every X-Men
Well,
movie?
no,
Oh,
I've already
Wolverine,
done.
you said. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Wolverine. I already did the first 2 X-Men.
Right,
This
yeah, yeah,
Monday
yeah.
is X-Men: The Last Stand. Monica's in it.
Oh, shit.
I actually finished editing it today. I'm gonna upload it overnight. It'll be up early for patrons and channel members.
So
So,
this
what were you saying?
I was gonna say, so that would be what? X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh yeah, for the Wolverine episode, it'd be Origins, the Wolverine, and Logan. Yeah.
If it's Logan, I'm coming to your house with a fucking weapon because
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
mean
be
for
very
worst? I think we're gonna
confused.
say what is the best.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Looking
Sean,
forward to it.
Sean, it's pretty obvious what the worst one in that third one is.
Yeah, best you could maybe have a conversation, I
Best you
guess.
can have a conversation,
Yeah,
okay?
sure,
Like
sure.
it'll be close, but I feel if we did what is
Do
the
you
worst Wolverine spinoff, it's like that. Why even bother doing the episode?
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, do you even bother do you count Days from Future Past in that? Because that could
No,
count,
that's
but
gonna be its own. That's gonna be
okay,
its own
okay.
episode.
It deserves
Um,
it.
but yeah, look forward to the
Yes.
X-Men: The Last Stand. Sean, let's go through some cheers and super chats.
Ooh.
At some point, I'm gonna figure out how to get stars activated on Facebook, even though I don't think anyone's watching on Facebook. Over on Twitch, we have Jaja83 for 50 bits. How about you get Movie Dumpster on Zach and Miko's Midnight Spook Show? I can
Funny
talk.
story.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, Tone. Funny
That's okay.
story.
I know this story, but tell people.
We need to reach back out to Zach. I actually reached out to him like a year ago because when we did a review on Shakespeare Shitstorm from Trauma, and he's in that.
Yeah.
And it's funny. My wife is I'm related to him by like marriage. My wife's mother's cousin's husband's nephew is Zach Amico. So it's like a very, very long relation, but there is a relation there. So we do have to circle back up with it. I'd love to do the spook show. I know Joe would love to do it. And Zach's a funny motherfucker.
I will say, the episode I did with Zach was great.
I watched it. It was hilarious.
Thank you, dude. That was like we mentioned that episode. It was like so crazy because like I knew Zach from the Trauma stuff. I've like hung out with him in the past. We were never like friends, but we were at like the same things. We went to like the same wedding and everything. So I hung out with him, but it was like this cool thing where like our fans, we had enough mutual fans that were really pushing for this collaboration. And it was like this totally organic thing. Like I never reached out to him. He never reached out to me. It's just the fans kept tagging us. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's try it. And apparently it was a really good episode. A lot of people really liked it. We did Arena.
Yes,
which
Arena.
Was fucking dude, I didn't realize they put it on Tubi. It was like a new HD transfer. So it felt like I was watching the movie for the first time.
Oh man. Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah. I've been watching that VHS rip for a really long time. Real quick, because
speaking of Arena, I just give you another plug. Patreon.com/movie dumpster. We did an Arena commentary track a while back.
Nice.
If you're curious, Connor, our former co-host, was actually on that too.
Sweet. Yeah, Arena's a good time. You guys are going to want to watch Arena. It's funny. I also was on Dissect That Film talking about the Guyver.
Oh man.
We talked about the big Mark Hamill grasshopper, and I started bringing up Arena. We were trying to think which grasshopper was cooler.
Oh god.
Wow, Sean, for $2, Movie Dumpster. It says, Sean, we got to do Surf Ninjas.
Because we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. That was the
was that Rob Schneider, right?
Oh yeah, Rob Schneider's in it. That was the first batch of rental reviews episodes when we shot like 3 or 4 episodes. Wow. The Surf Ninjas was good. The episode was good. The movie, not so much. Although I'm sure Joe is like, that movie is great. I love it.
I think he has said something along those lines before.
Let me see. So StreamYard highlights super chats.
Okay.
But it doesn't highlight the cheers and bits from like Twitch. So I have Twitch up and I'm trying to bring the comment up on screen, but I can't find it. So real quick, another super chat from the Flail for $2.
Oh, hey, what's going on, Flail?
Wouldn't mind more chill live reviews like this. Yes, I want to do more live reviews like this. That was kind of the plan. I wanted to do because I was doing 2 episodes a week back in like March. And Sean, I quickly remembered why I stop doing 2 episodes a week. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I would like to do 2 episodes a week again if the second episode is a live episode. Yes, they don't do as well as regular episodes, but super chats help. Did you guys hear me say super chats help?
Well, then you don't have to edit it. I totally
Yeah.
get what you mean, Tony.
Yeah. And I can't do any other live podcasts on any other channels at the moment. So next, this is Bad at Karate just became a YouTube member. Bad at Karate. Sean, have you seen any episodes with that girl Kaylee from WATP? She's been on my show.
I know, but I have seen the clips on social media, so I know who you're talking about.
Bad at Karate edits her show once over with Kaylee. Bad at Karate, I really liked. I think you were in the Pieces episode. I think that was your on-screen appearance for that show. That was a very funny episode. Pieces is a very fun movie. As much as I'm giving shit for Joe probably loving Surf Ninjas, I'm just like, Pieces is great.
Pieces is good. Pieces is good. I don't love it as much as most people do that are into those kind of movies, but it's good. It's good.
Here we go. I found the Twitch thing. See, it just says cheer 10 in normal text. It doesn't highlight it. Godzilla fan 90. Oh, sorry, buddy, if you were watching my YouTube channel. So a theater is the epicenter of Satanists. That is so funny to me.
Yeah, right.
I love those like Hollywood, evil sinners in Hollywood. I'm like, all right, they're definitely playing on those like conspiracy theaters. Conspiracy theories. Let's see. Do we have any others? Get them in now, guys.
Well, I know there's a couple more because I can see them on my end.
I'm scrolling down. And I was paused for a while. Okay. Tony movie Chappie District 9 Neil Blomkamp fan. It's a very specific.
That's a great movie.
Any Planet of the Apes reviews before Kingdom? Okay, well, I thought someone was coming into town to do the Tim Burton ones, but I'm probably putting that on the back burner. I am planning to do a live episode after Kingdom comes out to talk about like what is the best modern Planet of the Apes movie. So starting from Rise to the new one. So yes, there will be a Planet of the Apes episode. I don't know. I think I'm getting Adam for that one. Good old Adam Does Movies, who I might be recording something for Patreon tomorrow, but it's not set in stone yet, so I won't say what it is. But it might be Alien Day related. Okay. Silent Evil 999. Sometimes in dreams, Sean, 666 is upside down. So it's 999, like the year 1999, the year of his return. That is the stupid line of dialogue from End of Days, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Check out the review on this channel.
Yeah, they really were like, we got to do something with 666. It's like, yeah, but there's that one in front of the nines. And like, just ignore that part. Enjoyed the shows, Tony. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Good job, Tony.
The Neil Blomkamp fan again. Oh, wait. Did he leave too? Any Planets of the Apes review?
That's the one you just read.
No, he left 2 super chats.
He really wanted an answer about that.
He left one at 9:13 and another one at 9:15. Well, whatever I said before, I'll say it again. Chris Mikesell for $4.99. Do you still keep in touch with James? Miss you on Cinemassacre. I haven't talked to James in a while, but like for like no negative reason. We just haven't really interacted. We're both doing our own things. I did see Justin over the weekend at the Crypt Video event, and occasionally I chat with Mike. So yeah, I'll probably see James at some point. Like if I am at Too Many Games, I'll probably say hi to him. That's probably the last time I physically saw him was at the last Too Many Games. But yeah, he's still doing all good there. Blomkamp fan again for $4.99. Any chance we can have a all-girl show like the female Ghostbusters movie? We have one in mind for October. It's one that someone really wants us to do because he won't stop sending us copies of the movie. But until it's shot, I don't want to say what it is. But yes, it is on the cards for the future.
Being bullied by your fans, Tony. And it's working.
Okay, it looks like I missed one of the Godzilla fan ones, so I'm just gonna read it because I'm probably not gonna find it since it's not highlighted. But Godzilla fan 90 said, "I'm very surprised." Actually, there it is. I found it right away. I'm very surprised WB and NetherRealm never put Godzilla in a Mortal Kombat game. That one would be kind of hard. Although it would be cool to see fucking Liu Kang dragon fight Godzilla. They'd probably have an easier time with Kong than they would Godzilla, because then Toho's got to get involved, and Toho's probably not going to want people to cut Godzilla's head off. Um, and here we go for $1.99, the Flicks and Friend podcast. Buddy,
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 buddy. Check out that Heavyweights episode on Movie Dumpster if you missed the memo earlier with Tony and myself and Joe.
Well, actually, while we wait for, I assume, just hundreds of dollars of super chats to pour in over the next few minutes, Sean, what if there's anything we haven't plugged yet, or if you want to repeat yourself?
Sure.
Say what you got going on.
Yeah, so check out Movie Dumpster if you have not already. Tony's been on the show a bunch, which you may or may not already know. He was recently on the show for Heavyweights. We also did a question and answer live Q&A with Sean Wise from the movie, Josh from Heavyweights at the Philomoka this past weekend. That interview will be on Movie Dumpster channel in the very near future. Next week as of this recording, so look for that over on the Movie Dumpster YouTube channel. And we got a brain scan review coming very soon. And then the rest you'll find out if you head over to our channel at the end of the month. We usually have a live show. So look forward to that. And I guess that's what we have. We just put out a commentary track on Patreon also for the Deadly Spawn.
I saw that popped up in my notification. I don't think I've ever actually seen the Deadly Spawn.
Oh man, do yourself a favor.
I've seen that cover a trillion times.
It's a really good independent horror film, Tone. So I definitely recommend it. But I
Yeah.
guess that's like the major plugs. Those things I just said. MovieDumpsterPodcast.com. Check it out.
Cool. And sign up for my Patreon. I put up Hellraiser unboxing. I unboxed the Hellraiser Quartet of Torment 4K Blu-ray, and I shot it in November, and I didn't finish it till now because I wanted to watch all the transfers to talk about them.
Okay.
And Sean, maybe you relate to this, but it's really hard to watch a movie that's not for a review these days.
I try to. That's like kind of my new thing. I used to do that a lot and then just haven't. But yeah, I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to just go see movies, but I know.
Well, that's one of the reasons. And again, next week will be the April wrap up. That's why I kind of started the wrap up, so I had an excuse to see a bunch of movies in a month and just talk about them briefly.
Try to find a way to work it into your tax write off. I know what you mean, though. Yeah. Force yourself to have to go to the movies. What a horrible thing, Tony.
And actually, I mean, it's not a super chat, but yes, Joe saw Sting yesterday. I had Sting on my watch list. It is playing nowhere around here. Absolutely nowhere. But so far, actually, I'll read you the list, Sean, while we wait for $10 million worth of super chats to come on in.
Oh, okay. Really, so you probably just wait for it to drop on Shudder or Screambox at this point.
So hold on, let me get my list here. So on the list for this month, next week, Civil War, which I haven't seen yet. I have to see that. I'm supposed to go see that with Prison Mike. I gotta see that. Abigail, which I saw yesterday. Did I like it? You're gonna have to watch that episode. Fallout, which I watched the first episode of.
Oh man, it's so fucking good.
Spoiler, I'm gonna see if I can squeeze in a couple more episodes because I'm really enjoying it. But last month, that show Shogun came out, and I really like it. And now it's finished. I got like 3 episodes in, but I'm really enjoying Shogun, so I kind of want to like finish that before I dive into another show.
Sure.
I've been trying to watch it all week long. I think I might actually watch it after the stream, Late Night with the Devil. And then
is that on anything right now? Is that
Shudder? Shudder.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It hit Shudder. I was gonna throw Monkey Man on since I took Sting off, but it's just too late. I already told everyone what to watch, so I'll probably save that for the year end. Anything that's not like in a monthly thing, I'll save for the year end wrap up. And then Sean, I asked the fans because I was looking at new releases. I'm like, should I put this on the list just to be a dick? and they all said yes. Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp. There is some French company that's apparently been
I've
making.
seen video of this.
Yeah, they've apparently been making live action Woody Woodpecker movies, and there's a new one out. So I'm going blind into Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp. I assume any negative things about it will be because I didn't see the first one.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Again, you guys decided this. Also, you guys decided that I give Frozen Empire a dedicated episode, and that episode didn't do well. So I really started to question the fan. One, I didn't want to see the movie at all. You guys made me see it. And then you guys made me do a dedicated episode, and it didn't do that well. But go back and watch the Fallen. Did I call it Fallen Kingdom?
I don't know what you call it.
You know what's funny? I noticed when I did the intro, I think I called it Ghostbusters Fallen Kingdom because that was the Jurassic Park movie. Frozen Empire.
Right, yes.
Okay. Where we at here? Back to Super Chats. Neil Blomkamp fan. I'm going to have to disagree with you on the Thing prequel because that movie rules despite some of the wonky CGI. And also love Chelsea on the channel.
What are people just coming in here for like grievances from previous episodes that you didn't like respond to the comments? Like I left this comment on the episode you didn't respond, and now I'm fucking paying you. Respond to this, you bastard.
Sean, I don't know what's more confusing: the fact that there is a hardcore fan of the Thing prequel, or the fact that this guy thinks there's someone named Chelsea on the channel. I have no idea who Chelsea is. But if you're donating money, I will use Chelsea more in episodes. Just let me know who you think Chelsea is, and I'll put her in more episodes. There is no Chelsea on the show.
Casey,
maybe Casey. That's the closest one I can think of. Well, now there's a Kaylee and a Casey, so it could go either way.
He fused them in his mind.
Yes. Do you want me to put Kaylee and Casey in a teleporter from The Fly and merge them? Might not come out the way you think.
Oh God, it's gonna be like that fucking, what was it, a baboon and a fox? And
yeah.
What the hell was that?
Well, no, he didn't merge it. He put a baboon and it just didn't work yet.
Oh, no, they do show it, right?
Yeah, that wasn't like a combination. He that's before he figured it out, and the baboon turned inside out.
Oh my God.
And the baboon's like brother was there looking at it. Rob K, a member for 19 months, says, any chance you review the Fallout series? I guess you left that super chat before I answered.
So you're doing that on the live show? Is that what you were just saying, Tone?
Yes.
Okay. Let me know what you think. Just text me. I'm just curious because I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
From someone who hasn't really played the games outside of for a meme. I'm just curious how you.
Well, yeah. Did I tell you my experience with the games?
I've heard the joke that you thought it was something else, and you were like, too much talking.
I didn't want to. I wanted to listen to podcasts and shoot big bugs, and I'm like, who are all these fucking people? I played 20 minutes of the game, and I never played it again.
It's not what you're looking for in that moment. I get
But
it.
I watched my friend play it. He looked like it was a lot of fun, and then I turned it in. I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? What's going on here?
Only some of the best RPGs in the last 15 years, but sure.
I'm also not an RPG guy, so that's a little bit on me. I can understand how it would be good, but it's just not like my thing. All right. That is it from us. If you get a super chat in, maybe I'll read it if I see it later on. Oh God. Okay. I meant to say Crystal, my bad.
Okay.
No, and if that's the case, no. Crystal dies in the X-Men episode coming up.
Oh God, what is she, like melt like Senator Kelly?
You're gonna have to watch the episode to see how Crystal died. It's a very sad episode.
When's the last time someone died in an episode? Was that when everyone got blown up, or was that when Johanna got killed in that Saw episode? How far back?
There was that. Well, they lit me on fire in the Midsommar episode.
Oh, did they? Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna upload the X-Men episode, and hopefully it'll be live for patrons tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe, listen to the audio podcast wherever you want. Also, the Godzilla podcast does exist in audio form. It was only taken down on one thing. So yes, that is it from us. Goodbye, everyone.